Welcome back to the CryptoFather channel. This is the second attempt of recording this video, so I'm just gonna run through this because I just hate doing things twice. Unbelievable. Today is the 29th of July, which is very important because tomorrow there's a lot of information from the White House going to be released July 30th. The Bitcoin information, announcements, and all that stuff. Before we start with the video, make sure to pick up a copy of Crypto and Millennials. It's available now for pre-order on Amazon Kindle for $11, $10.99. It's no skin on your back. It's very informative. It's something that I wish I had before I started my cryptocurrency journey in 2017, because it's jam-packed with information that will help you or your loved one or whoever, your friend, your buddy. Send it to your buddy, man. Buy a copy and send it to your buddy who you think is completely anti-crypto, man. Get him to read this, and this will help him understand what crypto is all about without having to, spend money on cryptocurrency if he doesn't want to. Send him as a gift. All right, so we're gonna look at the markets again and then at the charts again. I'm just gonna make sure that things are working here. Yeah, it's recording. Man, I don't know what happened last time. In any case, we're at $3.9 trillion in market cap, $500 billion retracement, 177. So we dumped from 4 trillion to 3.95. So it's about $50 billion that has been taken out of the market. $177 billion in trading volume. Banana for sale, no idea what that is, but Bitcoin sitting at 118,000, Ethereum $103,780, Solana 183, BNB 823, Meowcoin I checked before, it was at like quadruple 06 or whatever the price tag was for that. And I was just saying that all these coins, man, altcoin season is supposed to be here, but Bitcoin, whenever Bitcoin retraces, as it has in the past right here. So the last retracement, mega retracement we saw on Bitcoin was in December, from December until April. And that was this is Ethereum. So Ethereum saw a 66% retracement during that time, while Bitcoin saw a 30% retracement. And so point of that being is that retracements still happen. We may not see an 80% dump on Bitcoin, but that's simply because there's so much money going into Bitcoin. But the bear markets will still occur on altcoins, and the altcoins will be the time where you can, or will be the place where you can start making money now. Bitcoin may no longer be the place, the coin with which massive gains can be made, because Bitcoin has become a lot more stable, and the amount of money that's flowing into Bitcoin right now has stabilized that ecosystem. And yes, it might be a lot more difficult to move prices, to see Bitcoin dump 80%. But whenever Bitcoin retraces 30%, altcoins do still retrace, like we saw in Ethereum. What was the retracement on ADA? Cardano from the same time saw a retracement of, same as Ethereum, 61% on Cardano. And let's see, Solana. The retracement on Solana, same from January 2025, saw a almost 70% retracement. Yeah, 70%. So when this is during a bull run, when Bitcoin retraces 30%, and even during a bear market, we may not see a 90 or 80% retracement, or even 70% retracement. There will be retracements on altcoins, because altcoins take the mass beating whenever Bitcoin retraces. So what are the news? The biggest one coming out right now is White House confirms first Bitcoin and crypto report will release on Wednesday, which is just tomorrow, and eyes are on the Bitcoin strategic reserve. That's what everybody's hoping for, right? Some of the reasons why this is going to happen and why Bitcoin is going to get pushed. Kathy Woods is talking about a $1.5 million Bitcoin by the year 2030, and PayPal announcing things like pay with crypto futures for businesses is in push to reduce transactions cost by 90%, will definitely throw some timber on the fuel, or some fuel on the fire, timber on the fire, because what business wouldn't want to take advantage of cutting their transaction costs by 90%. So businesses will now be able to use PayPal and transact in cryptocurrencies for settlement. JP Morgan Chase's blunt response on killing fintech companies. JP Morgan pauses Gemini banking amid clash over data access fraud risk and open banking rules. I've always said Jamie Dimon is a snake. He's a rat in the field, and this is probably an insult to rats, but I never liked the guy. I thought he's a tool, and Winklevoss concur. Like, Winklevoss and I could probably sit down and have a drink and agree on a lot of stuff. This is a tweet that Tyler Winklevoss posted. JP Morgan and the banksters are trying to kill fintech and crypto companies. They want to take away your right to access your banking data for free via third-party apps like Plaid, and instead charge you and fintechs exorbitant fees to access your data. This will bankrupt fintechs because banks want fees. The only reason why Jamie Dimon has turned to Bitcoin is because he realized that there are ways in which he can make money off the transactions and through provisions, by providing people with the ability to buy Bitcoin through his bank. And so now he's walking around saying that he will allow people to buy Bitcoin through his bank, when people were able to buy Bitcoin since 2009. It wasn't always easy, but it was always possible. That's how Bitcoin started. My tweet from last week struck a nerve. This week, JP Morgan told us that because of it, they were pausing their re-onboarding of Gemini as a customer after they off-boarded us during Operation Chokepoint 2.0. They want us to stay silent while they quietly try to take away your right to access your banking data for free through third-party fintechs like Plaid. Sorry, Jamie Dimon, we're not going to stay silent. We will continue to call out this anti-competitive, rent-seeking behavior and immoral attempt to bankrupt fintech and crypto companies. We will never stop fighting for what is right. Well done, Tyler. So yeah, that's a very common occurrence. Kathy Woods, ARK Invest, predicts 1.5 million Bitcoin by 2030. What's 2030 Bitcoin price target for you? That's for Kathy Wood. Every time she has an interview, she ups her ante, and the price for Bitcoin, according to her, keeps going up every single time. More postponements from the SEC on Solana ETFs. The US Securities and Exchange Commission delayed Grayscale spot Solana ETF again by another 60 days. I wonder if it's got anything to do with what JP Morgan is doing as well. The SEC and banks are all in cahoots. I mean, they're all government-related agencies, despite the fact that, yes, JP Morgan may be private banks, but I mean, they are in charge of the money, control of the money supply. And so these organizations work together. They will. And so that's what you get. There's some news from Do Kwon and US government asked to delay legal filings for a third time. Right now, it has been delayed to August 12th. So not that much longer. It's supposed to take place on July 29th, which was today. But they delayed it, pushed it back till August 12th. I'm pretty sure that people, the Luna Classic and Luna and UST, people are waiting eagerly to see what's going to happen with this fiasco. And this guy is saying, so this is where the information is coming from on the parabolic Bitcoin bull runs being over. In his view, we're just going for the next 10 years, we're just going to see a slow movement upwards of Bitcoin. It's just going to be a perpetual bull market because there's so much money going into Bitcoin and so much money going into the crypto space that is just going to start and never cease to move for the next 10 years. Now, while I do agree with some of the sentiment that there is a lot of money coming into Bitcoin, like I said just a minute ago, or 2 minutes, I don't know how many minutes ago, there will be retracements because profits will be taken, and especially every single time that Bitcoin hits a new target, a new all-time high, every time Bitcoin hits a new level, a psychological level, or whatever level looks like a good place to take profits, people and institutions will take profits. And when these dips occur, it's no longer going to be called a bear market. Maybe, quite possibly, there will be retracements. But the retracements will be significant. Like I said, 30% retracement on Bitcoin equals 60% retracement on altcoins. And I don't believe that there will not be a bear market. There will be a bear market because that time allows people, institutions to buy more Bitcoin. So Bitcoin will be dumped to lower the prices in order to rebuy at lower entry. And a lot of people will be exit liquidity. Specialty finance company Mill City announces 450 million offering to establish corporate SUI treasury. More and more of these treasuries are popping up. This is, I think, a new one. And it seems like companies are always looking for something new. We've got, Bitcoin treasuries are a thing. Ethereum treasuries, Solana treasuries have been talked about. Even Litecoin treasuries, I think, were mentioned. SUI treasury may be a brand new one. I'm not sure if there is a ADA treasury. That's coming up next. Once SUI is tapped into, and once this is successful, then other companies will pop up and try to find new cryptocurrencies to, for more hype. Crypto whales dump over 40,000 Bitcoin as traders enter uncertainty zone. I'm not sure if this is part of the 80,000 Bitcoin that were dumped just recently, but since June 25th, over 40,000 Bitcoin flowed to exchanges, igniting a flash dump, crypto quant data shows. So I'm not sure if this 40,000 Bitcoin, I guess this was part of the 80,000 Bitcoin that has been sold from the Satoshi era whale wallet that was 14 years old or something. Bitcoin that was received in 2011. I talked about this in yesterday's video, so if you are interested in finding out more, check out the video from yesterday. And the last bit here, Nasdaq firm is going all in on BNB with a $1 billion strategy. So BNB is going to see a nice chunk of cash flowing into its ecosystem. So like I said, Bitcoin strategy reserve, Ethereum strategy reserves, BNB, now SUI, Solana, all these, like the top 10 crypto will be receiving. There will be some companies finding, usefulness for these. Tron, maybe there will be a Tron 1. SUI has just been announced. And so that's where we're at. Another couple of things here. Here's why, probably a reason for why. Alex Becker apparently just dropped $1 million on Cardano, and this may be the reason why.
You think ADA will still outperform BTC in the future?
Of course, because how much farther can Bitcoin go? Maybe to 1 million. Okay, it's a 10x. ADA can go 100x, 1000x over this. It's like, guys, we're not a second-class citizen. Cardano does substantially more, and because of Bitcoin DeFi, it's going to end up probably being the yield layer of Bitcoin, and so it's going to get a huge halo effect from that. And because of the launch model of Midnight, partner chains are going to bring in airdrops almost annually to ADA. So you're like making the case for holding ADA. It's like if you hold ADA, you're going to get Night tokens. Night could be a $10 billion product right out of the gate, and 50% of the supply is being allocated to ADA holders. And every year, these things are going to be dropping.
When does that airdrop happen?
The airdrop is the second half of the year. We'll have an announcement at Rare Evo about it. But that's like imminent. It's not like a hypothetical thing.
So this is all great. The one thing that I was saying that bothers me is this whole idea of creating money out of thin air. I mean, we're talking about more companies creating tokens that are going to be airdropped that will essentially represent, equivalent of a dollar equivalent in some level, at some level, in some shape or form. And so that is just bizarre. I mean, where is all this money coming from, and how is this sustainable? How is this going to continue? I don't know. It's a bit strange to me personally. I understand the idea of like, we'll give you tokens. The tokens are, equal
There's one
to
other
a certain
thing
value of the dollar or whatever other currency they are pegged to or maybe represented in. But in the end, it's just money being airdropped to random people. But hell, why the heck not? If it works. But it just feels like this may be a part of a bubble, a growing bubble that will eventually bust. Here's another interesting announcement. 270 billion. Edelman just said that 9 trillion of retirement funds are soon coming to Bitcoin. This is an interesting
point. There's one other thing that's going on that is not yet getting a lot of attention, and that's what's happening at the Department of Labor. The Department of Labor made it really clear under Joe Biden that they would not allow 401k plans to offer Bitcoin as an investment option. Fidelity tried to introduce it, as you know, and they got shut down pretty quick. The Trump administration has already had DOL rescind that rule, and now taking it a step further, actually proactively permitting Bitcoin and crypto into 401k plans. Plan sponsors, meaning employers, haven't yet adopted this, but they will be doing so over the next 12 to 18 months. And that is going to unleash tens of millions of workers who have most, and in many cases, all of their investments in their 401k at work, suddenly having access to Bitcoin with that money. This is going to be one of the most profound shifts of asset flows, and it's not going to stop because you get more money to invest with every paycheck every 2 weeks or every month. This is going to be pretty exciting.
And you fix it and forget it. People don't pay attention to what their 401k is investing in, except for when either themselves or their employers set it up, right? So,
yeah. So it's going to be
Bitcoin,
huge.
Yeah. I believe the headline.
So this is another massive announcement, basically money. They're hoping that this will create like a massive, a loophole, constant flow of money into Bitcoin, which will perpetually drive Bitcoin, the price of Bitcoin, higher up. Whether that's true or not, you know, again, it's not going to go up forever. There will be retracements, and despite the fact that, you know, the people will be investing into Bitcoin or will be able to invest into Bitcoin, question is whether many or all of them will decide to do so. Some will, most certainly will, but will all of them? I'm not sure that many will, that all of them will. In any case, do not fall prey to this idea. Like, don't get too comfortable with the idea that the bear markets are over, that the 4-year cycles are over. And yeah, there are talks of different 4-year cycles, but so far that what we've seen from the past, when you look at Bitcoin, we've had a pretty consistent movement of, let's go on the monthly, pretty consistent display of 4-year cycles, which occurred every 4 years. So to start philosophizing about the different types of 4-year cycles, we had 2017 right here, 2021, and then now 2025, right? 444, and there's a tiny little one blip here that's also from 2013 to 2017. So far, 1, 2, 3, 4 4-year cycles. And to say that you know, this is not true, that it didn't happen, or that there are some other forces at play, yes, but so far they've aligned quite nicely with the 4-year halving cycles. And as discussed, you know, we've got halving and then accumulation phase and all that stuff. So what's to say that it's going to change now? Maybe it will slow down. Bitcoin will slow down. Maybe the dips will not be as big for Bitcoin as they were because it's just becoming a much heavier asset. There's a lot more liquidity at play, so it's not going to be moved as easily as it would have had in the past when, you know, the market cap for all the crypto was like below $1 trillion. But fact remains that there's still going to be a bear market. And in order to prepare yourself for all of that, you need to make sure to pick up a copy of the Crypto and Millennials book. I jam-packed it with a lot of information. It's very informative, 188 pages in length. Can't go wrong. For $11, pick it up, send it as a gift to somebody who you think might need it. Read it yourself. I recommend you read it yourself as well. And leave me a comment in the comment section below. I hope this was informative. Thank you all for joining. Pick up a Descent wallet as well. Just a quick reminder, $30 discount on the single copy of the Descent wallet, the wallet, biometric wallet from Descent, or a $99 discount if you purchase 2 of them from the ref links below the video. All of that is there. Thank you for tuning in. Have a fantastic Tuesday. I'll see you tomorrow. Peace.